Hello everyone, a big welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a long overdue 5-book recommendations video. So I've been reading some more non-fiction recently. I've been enjoying myself very much, and I realised that not only have I not filmed a 5-book recommendations video for you guys in a while, I haven't filmed one talking about non-fiction specifically in fucking ages. For those of you who aren't familiar or are newer subscribers, I have a series here on my channel where I give 5 random book recommendations within different genres. We have videos on literary fiction and poetry and classics and historical fiction and children's fiction and more. I will leave the link to the playlist around so you can go and check it out after this video if you want to see what else I have recommended in the past. So today is all about non-fiction. As always, I have tried to include a bit of a range in this video, so hopefully there should be something for everyone. I really hope you all enjoy. I would also love it if you would leave me your non-fiction recommendations down below in the comments. I am always looking to read more non-fiction. Let's do this. So first up today we have The Trauma Cleaner by Sarah Krasnostein. In this book, Sarah Krasnostein details the life and work of a woman named Sandra Pankhurst, who is, amongst other things, a trauma cleaner. This means that she helps clean the homes of people who suffer from mental illnesses such as hoarding or depression, homes that have vermin infestations, homes that have been abandoned since the owner killed themselves, and many other homes in various states. This is an amazing book and not one that I discuss nearly enough here on my channel. Throughout this book, we're allowed a very raw and tender insight into Sandra's work, but also personal life. Her experiences being a trans woman, her experiences growing up in a very uncaring household and experiencing different forms of abuse. And we get to learn about how she channeled all of her experiences with this abuse and violence into this amazing job that she now does to ultimately care for the most vulnerable people in society. I really loved the balance in this book between the personal and the professional. It was really interesting and very important, I think, to build up this whole picture. Ultimately, this book is just fascinating and illuminating. It made me reflect on trans issues, roles within the family, sex work, disability, illness, and much more. And I don't know about you, but I didn't actually know that being a trauma cleaner was a specific job before I heard of this book. And that just comes down to my privilege. It was really important for me to learn about this and to learn about how people like Sandra care for people in society through cleaning these traumatic messes. A fab book, totally unique. I read it back in like 2018 and I still think about it. Can't recommend this one more highly. Next up we have The Uninhabitable Earth, A Story of the Future by David Wallace-Wells. So this is one of the many books about the climate crisis, but what I liked about this one in particular was that instead of looking at the world right now, David Wallace-Wells takes us into the future in this book to look at what our world will look like in so many years' time. The effects will be all-encompassing and they will affect basically every area of human life as we live it today. This was a really powerful reading experience for me. I found it to be quite affecting and certainly very informative. I really liked the approach here. I liked that the book was split into sections, focusing on different areas of human life, such as hunger or breathing. And more than anything, I did just find this whole thing deeply shocking and disturbing and haunting. If you do want to learn more about the climate crisis and the terrible effects that it will have on our planet, then read this book. Do bear in mind though that it isn't the most hopeful, and while I found it very personally motivating, I wouldn't necessarily say it's the most practically helpful. So bear that all in mind if you pick this one up, but I thought it was definitely worth a read. The next recommendation today is Slug by Holly McNish. This is a new book. I read it very recently and I just had to mention it. I am obsessed with this at the moment. This is a kind of hybrid book comprised of short essays and poems and short stories, all exploring Holly McNish's personal experiences with grief and family and sex and self-love and parenthood and more. So it's mainly non-fiction. Just give me it. Like I say, this is a new book and I need people to read it. Not going to lie, I was mainly here for the poetry. That's what I went into it for, but I came away from it loving the whole thing. All of the different mediums in here just brought something, and the overall effect was so special. This book just provides such a rich, unique reading experience that is at once personal and informative and beautiful and shocking, and it is laced with humour as well. This is just so contemporary and earnest, and I related to it all pretty hard. She got me thinking, she got me feeling, as all of the best non-fiction does, I guess. You guys are going to love this, I swear. It is one of the most creative and raw books I have read in a while. And if you only dabble in non-fiction or poetry and you're wanting to get into reading them a bit more, then I think this is the perfect place to start. Next up, we have Unfollow by Megan Phelps-Roper. This is a memoir in which Megan details her childhood and teenage years being brought up as part of the Westboro Baptist Church, an aggressively homophobic, anti-Semitic, rejoicing of natural disasters and AIDS religious sect in America. In 2012, at the age of 26, Megan left her family and the church behind to start a new life on her own, and this book details her journey up until that point. This is such a good memoir. Very interesting, of course. This church is many things, and interesting is one of them. But this book is also just so touching. It was so enlightening and important, I think, to get such a personal and intimate account of living as part of this church. It is so important to hear about Megan as a child and as a teenager, and how she felt as though she was acting in a morally good and just way through acting in line with the church. It's also fascinating to learn about Megan's development and how she changed and her beliefs evolved as she grew older. Faith and our relationships with our family and the people around us and with ourselves are all so unendingly complex. And that is something that this book captures so well. If you're wanting a memoir that's really, really good, this one ticks all of the boxes. My final recommendation for you guys today is How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi. So this book does basically exactly what it says on the tin. It argues for and advocates the idea that we must all be actively anti-racist. Being passive and being merely not racist is not good enough. This book is just what you'd hope it would be. The argument in here is very clear and very strong. Each chapter focuses in on a different area of racism or something that interplays with racism, and personal experiences of Ibram X. Kendi's are dotted throughout as well, just really bringing this whole thing to life even more and giving it a really personal and intimate touch. Personally, I found this book to be very informative and helpful. One thing I particularly loved about this book is that it is packed with different definitions of often subtly different terms throughout. This really helped me understand the book more, as well as just understand the more general, wider discourse surrounding this topic. This book is both enlightening and practically helpful, which I think is key. If you're looking for better and clearer ways to understand these issues, but also better ways to apply it to your life, to live a more effective and anti-racist life, then this book is for you. So there we have 5 more of my non-fiction book recommendations. I really hope you guys enjoyed hearing them. It was really fun to film another 5 book recommendations video. I'm definitely going to be filming some more soon. I'm thinking of doing one on translated fiction next. What do you guys think? As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. I can't wait to have a chat down below in the comments, and I'll hopefully see you all soon in another video. Bye guys.